This is the Carty Method Podcast.
I swear, if I didn't love you guys so much, there's no way that I would be doing a show today. I'm so busy. I got so much stuff going on behind the scenes here, but I'm dedicated to this very dedicated group of people who care to watch me, who care to participate by putting their photographs up for review in something we like to call Portfolio Lab. It happens every Tuesday and Thursday. But Carty, today's a Friday. Well, you know, life happens also, and photo shoots happen. Teaching in high schools happen, which I was doing yesterday. I was teaching in a high school. By the way, if you're part of Portfolio Lab, you get access to me 4 times a month. And that access happens after Thursday's show. Well, we didn't do a show on Thursday, and we're doing a show on Friday. Does that mean access to me happens Friday today instead of Thursday? Absolutely. So we're going to go through an amazing workshop today after Portfolio Lab, which is our Portfolio Lab Zoom workshop, which we do after the show. And I'm going to show you some stuff that I've been shooting. I'm going to show you the stuff that the kids shot yesterday, these students shot yesterday, and how I set them up for success, and how I might be taking on a fourth coach. A fourth coach. This is a strategy coach. So I just hung out with her, did a nice little meeting about strategy, and excited. So guys, are you ready for this week's pro level assignment viewing? This week's pro level assignment was pretty simple. I wanted you to create your niche in black and white, which is super simple. I wanted you to create a striking black and white image that showcases your niche and your signature style. The goal with this photo was to use the power of monochrome to highlight emotion, texture, and storytelling, proving that your photography stands out without color. That your work can stand out without even color. So we have 27 submissions today, which is good. That means you guys are starting to take this serious. You guys are stepping up to the microphone. I got lots of new people signing up, which is amazing. Starting with Mike Graves. Mike says, this is a photo I shot for a local brand. This is a photo I shot for a local brand. Natural light at the skate park. Shot with the A9 with a 24-70, 2.8, ISO 100, 2.8. Don't shoot wide open. At 1/200th of a second. Try not to shoot it wide open, Mike. This, ladies and gentlemen, is Mike Graves. Mike, let's get it on. Mike, this is a vibe. I like this. The first thing I want to do is look at this as an 8x10 because we want to see how this frames as an 8x10 on Instagram, because I'm sure your client is going to want to use this on Instagram. I want you to see how your subject's right hand, which is camera left, is kind of cropped out. This, for me, you just have his hand here on this part of his leg rather than like outside of the frame. This little bit of extra white space down here, we don't really need. I would really have loved you to move over like just a touch in order to hide that little bit of white. Our eye goes to the brightest thing in every scene. I love the location. I love the fact that we can see mountains up here, the snow peaks. This is great. I just want to zoom in a little bit on the clothes. When you're shooting black, especially if this is your brand that you're shooting, you got to go in and take away all of the dust and dandruff and all of that stuff that's on the shirt. My camera shoots 45 megapixels. The R5 is 45. I see this every time I shoot black. So unless you're using a lint roller, which will make this a lot less of like black that you have to retouch, but I'm imagining that this is your brand. This is the most important thing, that product, and also this hat, which also someone collection, which is also this. So it's the hat. So the beanie needs to look dope and be kind of pill free. And when I'm looking at the beanie, it looks a little bit pilly. I have a beanie shaver or a sweater shaver that you buy from Amazon that's rechargeable. You plug in and it's just zzz, and that makes it so, or you shoot brand new product. And this isn't brand new product. So because of that, it's like you have to really get in here and do the retouching necessary in order to make this really spot on. For me, I feel like you're a little bit tight. I really want to see that handlebar detail in the brake. His hand could have been leaning on here. There's also a detail on the sleeve, which I'm sure your client would have wanted to see that sleeve detail, which his body position has to be different in order to notice that hit. That's my 2 cents. Did you nail this assignment? The right black and white? Yes. The tone, the vibe, the attitude? Yes, yes, yes. There's just some compositional elements here. The dust and stuff on the shirt and the product for me is the most important thing to nail. And also just making sure that you're hitting the most important aspects of the apparel. I hope that brings you value, guys. That is Mike Graves. Mike, our first submitter of the day. Well done. Good to see you. Oh, let me see what this looks like as a cover. Again, like, I want you to notice that, again, this image could just get knocked over like that way just a little bit, just to square him up. You can see he's not centered in here. Yeah, it's just a couple of little things with the framing, but overall you should be happy. This is a good first submission for you, Mike Graves. And if it's not your very first submission, good early submission from you. All right. Are one of my people in the Notion template, por favor? Frank Tom. This week's black and white assignment, I attempted to capture a documentary style image that depicts the cold North Carolina surf vibe, shot on a R5 7200, ISO 100, 3/20th of a second, 7.1. This is shot natural light. This is Frank Tom. Frank. Let's get it on. Frank, there's something here. There's for sure something here. I feel like his body language, like the position that his body's in, because his legs are just like he needs to be like trotting out there or coming back. I feel like this is kind of a little bit of one of those in-between images. I like the powerful rocks. Like it definitely breaks up this element. You can see up in here, this could be its own photo in itself. And then down here could be its own also photo. It could be its own vertical photo here. I'm just torn, Frank, with his body language. For me, his body language doesn't hit as hard because he's just balancing himself. I need like some sort of like, maybe it's a different edit. I mean, it's a very competent picture. The exposure, the contrast, all of those elements are here. I just know your work, Frank. And I know if we judge you against you, and I type franktom.com and I look at the rest of your work and I look at the rest of your surfing work, I see like your dynamics and your body language and the way that and by the way, the reason that I can do this is because he's in Portfolio Lab. And I really care about the people who are in this program. And I care enough to have their website bookmarked so I can open up and show them the rest of their work. I want you to look at the impact of this, Frank, and the impact of this. This doesn't hit as hard. I want you to look at the impact of this and the impact of this, and realize that this doesn't hit as hard as some of the other shots in your book. So for me, I wouldn't mind seeing another edit. It's close, but I don't think that the body language in the shot in general is as good as the rest of your work. So for that reason, it kind of stands out. I'd be interested to see what else you have edit-wise from that. And again, just showing some of your other like super strong, super powerful work, and energetic body language. You know what I mean? Like, these are things that are really vital when it comes to the collection that we put together. So for me, that shot feels like it's just a little bit lacking. And again, going through your portfolio and seeing, I mean, great. There's just too many great. And for me, this doesn't hit enough. I hope that helps you, Frank. That is Frank Tom. Frank is going through the phases of the Carty method, which you should be doing too. He's learning my system so he can implement it and make his first $100,000 with his camera. This is Christina Nicole. So this is a artist named Mecha Godzilla. Shot some portraits. Shot with the R6 85mm f2. Shot at 2.8 ISO 1600. This is Christina Nicole. Christina, thanks for submitting. So definitely a vibe. I want you to watch your light. Your light's coming from the top, and also your exposure. Your exposure seems to be quite low, and I can also see that you darkened all of this stuff over here, because I can see the exposure here and the noise here, and I know that noise would continue, which it does continue to about here, and then it looks like you darkened everything beyond here. So your exposure isn't right. This is underexposed. This is under. This noise here tells you that this is under. This is underexposed. And it's underexposed, I'm going to say, by a whole stop. At least 2/3. So because of that, you're getting this noise. And also the light is quite top down. And I can tell the light's top down because of the raccoon eyes that he has and the deep ridges in his forehead because they're being highlighted by the top down light. So it looks like he's wearing glasses, but that's just because of the top down light. He's hiding his face too much. His face is his brand. He's not popular enough to be doing this. It's not Kanye. He's not popular enough to be like, you know me just based on my eyes. We don't know him yet. Nobody knows him yet. So part of your brand identity, if you're trying to shoot a newer artist, is you have to show their face. You have to. You can't be doing this kind of stuff, even if it's to show his rings. Show his rings this way, or show his rings like this, or show his rings like this, so you see his moneymaker. This, to me, not the right light. It's top-down light. These raccoon eyes are not flattering. We're losing his eyes. They're in gray. And then the exposure on the overall image is super grainy. The depth of field, we kind of, yes, he's holding out this microphone, but we're losing the microphone. Like he should be having this hand forward and having this hand with the microphone to his mouth. So for me, the pose is wrong. The exposure, is wrong, and the light is wrong for me in this one. Christina Nicole, thanks for submitting. You got to watch your exposure, girl. 2 stops off is a lot. That's a lot of stops off, and you can't darken like this stuff back here, and like I'm gonna notice that. This looks like it's just chopped out and put on a black background. I hope you see that. All right, guys, that's Christina Nicole. Thanks for submitting, Christina. All right, next we got to be rapid fire today because we got 27 submitters. 27. That's finally. So this is submission from Romeo Fowler, shot with the Fuji X-T3 85mm 1.2 at f2, ISO 800, shot at a 200th of a second. This is Romeo Fowler. Romeo, thanks for submitting. All right, Romeo, this is a vibe. Let me just make sure that this is Romeo's picture because it doesn't look like the type of work that I typically see from him, and it's a new subject, and there's so many things that are working. This is a yes. The contrast is off. The contrast is off. I'm I want you to notice that overall this is gray. I'm feeling the hat, which is black, is gray. The hoodie, which also looks like it could be black, is also gray. If his hat is not black and it's a color, even more of my point, it's reading gray. That's reading gray. This is reading gray. His skin's reading gray. The background and even the lightest things, the whitest things back here are also reading quite gray. So all of that to say, like, we have to be very aware of contrast when it comes to processing our images. Compositionally wise is really strong. I want you to see this as a cover. Very strong. I want you to see this as an 8x10. Also works very strong. I'm going to zoom in. Oops, let's just turn that off. Zoom in here. Your focus is really strong. It's dope. Like, this is a very powerful image. The only thing I need you to do is bump the contrast a little bit on this picture, so a little bit more black is revealed and a little bit more brights is revealed. Right now this is a little bit too gray, but this is definitely an 11 for me from Romeo Fowler. That's an 11, Romeo. Well done. Romeo Fowler. Let's get it on, Romeo. This is Denise Tuggle. Denise. Let's get it on, Denise. We have no readings, no shutter speeds, no apertures, no anything from Denise. Denise Tuggle. Let's get it on, Denise. Thanks for submitting. Denise, this is not an improvement from last week. This is not an improvement from last week. We're losing detail in here because you're underexposed. This is white. You can see we're getting a nice gradient coming down here, but seeing this part of the table is unnecessary. We can agree with that, right? Like, we don't need to see that. And then of all the objects that you're going to choose to shoot, this is the object that you're choosing to shoot. Well, just because it's black? Like, it's not an interesting piece. It's not something that you would be hired to shoot. It's not something that I would practice on. And because of shooting a photo and you're also not hitting it, again, Denise, remember this last week? I went like this. I said, this is your table. This is your thing that you're shooting. I said, hit it this way, not this way. Guess what you're doing with this one? You're hitting it this way. You're doing the same thing. And I can see that because I see the front of the table and I see this table and I see the top of this. And I also see these lines are like converging down, which they might be because this might converge down, but you're aiming top down. And I also said, shoot a can. You remember me saying shoot a can and learn how to shoot a can, like a beverage, a Coca-Cola, like the more time you practice on shooting things that you will never, ever, ever get hired to shoot, you're just wasting your time. And we talked about this. So you didn't do the lower angle that I asked for, and you didn't shoot a can. You picked just, again, something from your house that you thought looked interesting because it's black and put it, and again, you didn't build a set. You put this on your counter and you took a picture. And it's not good enough, Denise. I need you to try harder, okay? I need you to try harder. This is a no for me. It's not following the brief. I'm very looking forward to you having your meeting with Garan. It's going to help you greatly when you speak to my director of operations, who is also a very competent and incredible product photographer. He's going to inspire you. I would talk to you, but I'm getting frustrated because you're not listening exactly to the things that I'm saying to do, and I'm not a product shooter. So Garan will have a lot more patience. But again, we need to set a plan for you, Denise, because these last couple of weeks, you've been a little bit aimless as far as the submissions, okay? This is Stephen Bordeaux. Steve says, thought I would try to tackle something new. This was fun. I learned so much. D850, 50 millimeter, ISO 200, 1/250th of a second at f2.5. This is Steve Bordeaux. Steve, thanks for submitting. So, couple of things for me. Again, the location is cool. The body language is not right. Like shooting feet first, like shooting into the feet with the feet just like right here. It's first of all, there's a lot of people who are really offended by seeing feet. I mean, I'm not one of them, but there's a lot of people who are just offended by seeing feet. So don't make the feet the first thing in the photo. Okay. Now I know that she's sitting in this tree, but have her feet, like her legs bend and her feet go this way. So her legs are stacked on top of each other and it's going that way. Like the way that she's sitting, she's just propped and her feet are like straight out. And although she's got a great smile on her face, it's just like Nick is saying in chat for you, Steve, is like, I don't like to point a leg, elbow, or anything straight at camera. And again, I talked about this last week with Tia's picture. With Jay's picture, she had an elbow. A girl had her elbow like this, front. How sexy is my elbow? Front at camera. It's not sexy. So feet are the same thing. Like you'll never, like photos in a magazine, feet crossed right at camera like that. It doesn't happen. So Steve, the body language here is wrong. And I also want you to notice that now we see no legs. We don't know, like she looks like her feet are growing out of her hips. Because that, like it literally, I want you to think about this. She has no legs. She's in a wheelchair. Her feet are actually growing out of her hips and she has to prop herself like this to get in a wheelchair. Is that the case with this lady? Probably not, right? But when you look at the shot, you see that it looks like her feet are growing out of her torso. Because perspective-wise, when her body goes like this, like again, if this is her body, like, and you have her feet coming like this at camera, what I'm saying is this is her body, have one leg go back and have the other leg go back, and then her feet tuck back here. And then it's like, it's way more comfortable. And it doesn't look like she's sitting in a recliner. She's sitting on a tree. So it should be like, just the way that you positioned her is just wrong. Here, Steve. Great expression on the face, great location. You got to watch the horizon line back behind her, like tuck her behind something dark because she's wearing something white, and then this white against the white water on behind, like just position her so she's just behind the tree line and you don't see this brightness, because then now the white shirt is up against dark and then it kicks a little bit more. And then the contrast is low. You can see when you look at this, the white shirt is gray. The black pants are also gray. This is gray. Like everything you see, just gray, right? So that's a lack of contrast. So we need to up the contrast so we see white, black, and gray. So for me, contrast and body position is where we lost this one, Steve. The crop works. Like, yes, it works as an 8x10. Yes, it works as a cover, but the body position and having, like, we just can't lead. You can't lead with feet like that, bro. You just can't. You can't lead with feet like that, because that's all I see. I hope that helps. All right, that's Steve Bordeaux. All right, this is Michael Rodriguez. Michael said he just joined. This is his first ever submission. You have off-camera strobe, decided to not use it. I chose a location, outfit, and accessories. This is my stepdaughter. R6 Mark II, 85mm f2, shot at 5.6, so 400th of a second at 3/20th of a second. Please don't talk about excuses, Michael. If you're putting work on the table, I'm going to judge it. Again, it's super easy. Just put your, like, do the assignment, put your best work forward, or don't, and do it next week. You know what I mean? But don't make excuses. Okay. All right. This is Michael Rodriguez. Michael, thanks for submitting. Michael, there's something here. There's something here. The processing, though, this is not black and white. This is halftone. You see, that's black and white. You see how this is blue? Did you think I was going to miss that? You see how this is blue? This is blue. This is called halftone. This is not a black and white image. I asked for a black and white image, which means monochromatic, which means without color. If you notice this, and see how that's black and white, and you notice this, black and white, notice that, black and white, that, black and white, black and white. Like, I'm very, very specific, Michael. This is blue and white. Do you see the difference? So I see everything, and I'm hella specific. This is a black and white assignment, which means without color, which means not sepia tone, not blue toned, not like, it just means black and white. Simple. There's no hidden meaning in my words. So you have to follow instructions. If you don't follow instructions, you're going to have very upset clients and a very upset Carty, and both of them, upset Carty, who cares? Upset clients, you just won't work because you can't follow instructions. So you have off-camera flash, but you didn't use it here. Okay, why do I need to hear that sentence? I don't need to know that. It's a natural light picture. It's like me saying, I have this light and I have 1,000 pieces of equipment. I'm not listing what I have and didn't use. Okay? Just let me see the photo for what it is and what you did use. Okay? Second part. Don't tell me about shit that you have and didn't use. It's not relevant. Her finger on her chin is not necessary. This, like, that's a pose. And poses are tacky. So we have to, like, composition wise, you shot a cover. You shot a cover, right? Amazing. You shot something that would work as an 8x10. Amazing. And I understand you're testing. I understand that you're just testing, but part of the thing that you're just testing is how to direct people and how to pose them. So stepdaughter, amazing. Sunglasses, number one, hides brand identity. So we no longer see her because she's now hiding behind glasses. So it's one thing. The hand on the like, it's hokey. And then her pondering is also hokey. So shoot a portrait of her, which is eye contact. It's hard to make eye contact when you have sunglasses on. What a sunglasses does, it makes her look quote unquote cool, but it reduces the connection with the viewer, who you're trying to connect with. Her, like, thinking, it's like, here, something you just tried to get her to try, but without you looking at magazines, then your ideas are kind of whack because you're not seeing what working photographers who shoot for Vogue are telling their subjects to do, which is not this. So without looking at magazines, you're not seeing what's current, what's cool, and therefore then you make pictures that, again, close, but you're losing it in the pose. The pose is something that you have to start with right away. And again, I don't want you to get discouraged, Mike. It's a great, like, good exposure, great image, but you're making key mistakes. Sunglasses is something, have your subject wearing sunglasses when you're shooting for a sunglasses brand. When you're shooting for a sunglasses brand, that's when you have your subject wear sunglasses. Unless it's like a real, like, Dior or like just really like $1,000 pair of sunglasses, $500 pair of sunglasses, cool. They can wear that. But if it's just like an accessory or a prop, what that's doing is it's creating a disconnect from you and your viewer. Like, your viewer needs to make eye contact. That's what holds them and makes them feel connected with your subject, whoever your subject is. So they're wearing sunglasses, disconnection. If they're looking away, disconnection. And if they're intentionally pretending that they're thinking about something, disconnection. Why am I looking at this photo? The subject's not looking at me. You know what I mean? You're not to be thinking about you, and you're not to be thinking about the person in the picture. You're to be thinking about that third variable that you have no control over, the viewer. The viewer is who you're trying to get them to hold on that photo is 1 instant longer. And I promise you it's not going to happen. Sunglasses, this, and looking away. Okay? I hope that helps you. Even when you're testing, you always have to be working towards a common goal. And also, black and white means black and white, not halftone. It means 0% saturation, as in monochromatic. All right. That is Mr. Michael Rodriguez. Kevin Curtis shot this Porsche with natural light from the shop door and some overhead LED lights that are obviously built into the shop. Sony A7R4 Sigma 105 millimeter macro, ISO 800 f4 1/250th of a second. This is Kevin Curtis. Kevin, thanks for submitting. Kevin, this is not it, bro. Like, it's not, it's cropped too tight. You're missing the diffuser. The diffuser on these GTs are so important. You're missing the diffuser. The contrast is quite gray, and it's busy. Like, these lines that you have here, and because you're aiming out into the window, we're seeing the brightest parts out here first before we see the car. And then when we do see the car, we're just seeing bad highlights. We're seeing bad highlights from the LEDs. Like, car photography doesn't look like this. This is existing light. And if you're trying to shoot a car like this, it needs to not be in the showroom. You need to literally wheel it out. And I have to show, and I know, Kevin, we all start from somewhere, but what you have to look at is you have to look at Ian Martin and look at the type of car photography he's doing. Notice not a single one in the dealership, not one. And also look at the light, look at the highlights on the car, right? It's because he's controlling the light. Look at the highlights on the car. There's no hot spots. Do you see these? Those are hot spots. These are LED, and again, the reflections and all that stuff, it's just because the car is just where it is. It's not placed in the exact place to get pro level photos that the dealership is even going to be able to use. Like, we have to have this car in the right spot, and inside the dealership is never the right spot. So, again, this is some of Ian Martin's car photography, and you can see how incredibly important, like, even look at the difference of taking the car outside and what he's able to do with some studio light and natural light with this car. And then Sean Thomas, who also is a car photographer who I've been coaching. He took the car outside. Look at the highlights on the paint. Look at the difference of the highlights on the paint when the car's not under LEDs. So this is the standard. Like, the standard has to be like way higher. This is not gonna cut it, Mr. Curtis. I'm sorry. And it's gray. I want you to notice it's also very gray. There's nothing, there's just this little patch of white, but the car is white, the floor is white, inside's here's white, gray. I mean, gray. And there's a little bit of black, but even the blacks aren't jet black. This is jet black. This is jet black. In here should be jet black. Inside here, but it's not. You can see how this is also gray. So contrast, location, it's just like, and again, I need you to use your judgment before you shoot these kinds of pictures. And I want you to realize how far you are trying to go with photography. Anytime a car is just sitting where it is, under light, how it is, it's never going to work. It's never going to work. It's never going to work, because dealerships are not set up for photography. They're set up for customers. So whenever you're in a showroom or a mechanic spot or something like that where they're working on cars, without you bringing in your own full lighting setup where you can light the whole car, you're getting what you can get. and this isn't good enough in order to make it so you're a car photographer that's getting paid. So I'm trying to take you to that level, which means this one can't go in your book. I hope that helps. All right. That is Mr. Kevin Curtis. Nick is Nick Rizik. Nick, taken at church, 5D Mark IV, 5D Mark IV, 135 f2, ISO 1280. Wow, 12,800. Okay, ISO 12,800, and you shot at f2. Okay, Nick. Let's look at Nick Rizik. Nick, thanks for submitting. Much as I expected, this is not a great execution here. It's incredibly underexposed. This is one of those situations where this isn't a place to shoot photos because this is not photography light. Shooting at ISO 12,000 makes a $10,000 R5 look like a rebel. Like, my sensor, because I also have this camera, should not look like this. And it only looks like this under extreme underexposure. And when you're pushing your camera to 12,000 ISO and then also still underexposing, Nick, it's just not working. And then also, like, you have exposure here, but then look, this is burnt out because the exposure here and the exposure here is at such a radical difference that this is why it's burning out here. So for me, again, if your subject wanted this, amazing. If he's happy with it, okay. But this is not the level of premium photography that I'm trying to teach you how to make. This isn't at that level. It's not at that level. You're behind. You're in a group with a whole bunch of other people who are all wearing their winter coats. They're all looking forward. So you're giving me the perspective of just another person standing there. So it's not even a fresh perspective. So for me, Nick, this is, again, if this subject wants this picture, amazing. But what you're doing is you're putting out low quality work into the industry, which hurts all of us. Like, for me, this isn't at the level that we need in order to get paid as photographers. We can't be having $10,000 cameras and putting out work like this. It makes us look bad. So this is not a great execution. And again, this is taking pictures, not making pictures. I want you to notice I try to teach people how to execute ideas. This is not an idea executed. This is something happening that you've documented. If this is what you're trying to do, Nick, this is a long, lonely road of racing to the bottom and being the guy with the camera, going to like anything just for the opportunity to take a picture. I don't do that at all. I make pictures. I come up with an idea and I execute it. And ideas executed is how you make well over $100,000 a year. Taking pictures is how you might be lucky if you make $1,000 a year, because you're shooting pictures for people who don't know photography. They don't know photography. So you're playing in a realm of an arena of like people who don't know the game. I play an arena of people who do know the game and they pay for it. So, yeah, I'm just trying to help you be the best. Nick, for me, this is not it. This isn't it. I hope that helps you. Again, by phase 0, Nick, you need phase 0. Phase 0, setting your stage. I was going to ask you the questions that you're not asking yourself, Nick. I think it would serve you well to go to cartemethod.com, and with the place that you're in right now, the place that you're in is starting your photography business, right? So click there, starting your photography business, and right here brings you to phase 0. This is what you need. This is what you need, because right now you're not trading value for money. I'm sure that you're not making any money at all with your camera. If you want to make money with your camera, you need to know how to bring value. And you're not bringing value with sharing work like that. So we're value creators. We have to create value, and we trade that value for money. We happen to be doing it with photography, but the photography has to be at a level that value is worth trading it for. Money is worth trading it for. And for me, sadly, this one's not there. I hope that helps you, Nick. All right. Let's get into our next shooter, which is Courtney Turner. Courtney, shot a Nissan car to shoot. All right, Z7, 35mm 1.8, ISO 250, f7 at a 1/60th of a second, meaning 1/160th of a second. This is Courtney Turner. Courtney, thanks for submitting. I see what you're trying, but again, this is not it. This is not it. This is not an angle. And again, I've been seeing this half a car angle a lot lately, but it's not, this isn't it. This is the second one of the day. The dramatic clouds, amazing, but you're not low enough, Courtney. You're not low enough. I'm not seeing how the car stands, and you're shooting at wide angle. So because, it really does, let me make sure, it really does feel like you're shooting this wide angle. Of course, 35mm. So you're shooting a car wide angle, which means you're distorting how wide, it looks like this is wide and the car tapers in this way. That's what it looks like because you're shooting at wide angle and you're busting it so close to the frame. And then this, which looks like a boat or something like that, and fishing pole, this is distracting. And then the horizon line is right through the center of the picture. You hear me talk about lowering the horizon line. Courtney, how many times last week did I say lower your horizon line, lower your horizon line, lower your horizon line? That's 3 times that I'm saying it in this statement. You can see your horizon line not lowered. So you're not hitting the car with the right stance, and you're not showing me the most interesting part of this car. You're not showing me brand identity of this car. There's nothing about this car that tells me it's an Altima or whatever this car is because of the white, so yeah. And then you're saying it's hauling a fishing boat. I can't see that it's hauling a fishing boat. And if I'm a guy who's hauling a fishing boat, I'm not choosing an Altima to be hauling it. I'm going to have a pickup truck. That's a towing thing, not so you're trying to do too many things in this photo, including the boat. This is now, you see an Altima towing something. You're like, dude, that's not a car for towing, but it can. It's yeah, but should it be? So those kinds of disconnects, guess what? Nissan doesn't want to see that Altima towing something. So now when Nissan sees that, they're like, ugh, you know what I mean? Because it's not the type of car that is. You want to shoot for Nissan? Shoot a Pathfinder towing a boat out. It's yeah, but that was the car that was there, and that's what it was doing. So I shot it. And it's well, then that's your problem, because you're taking pictures instead of making them. And you're taking pictures and trying to make something out of it and failing. So for me, this is a miss. This is a miss. This is a miss for me, Courtney. And again, I'm not derailed. I'm just frustrated because you're trying to do too many things in one photo. The horizon line lower, the wide angle. Talked last week about wide angle. When you shoot cars wide angle, it distorts them. It makes the front look super big and the bottom look all of that stuff is, yeah. So Courtney, I hope that helps you. Thanks for submitting. Thanks, Mike. All right. Next, this is Brandon Garner. Nikon D7500, 35mm lens. ISO 200, 1/2000th of a second, f11. Shot with the Octabox. Okay, this is Brandon Garner. Brandon, thanks for submitting. Brandon, you would do so well with a 50mm. Shooting wide angle with vertical, I talked about that last week. 35 millimeter is wide angle. Unless you're shooting with a crop sensor, 35 millimeter is wide angle. If you're shooting with a full frame sensor, then if you're shooting with a crop sensor, 35 millimeter is very close to 40. But your perspective, you're very much standing and he's seated. So you're aiming down on him, which means it feels like he's in trouble. You have to hit him at a straight angle. Like if he's sitting, you have to be sitting on the same level. So you're aiming at him. The light is inspired. I appreciate what you're trying to do with the light, but what's going on with the background, and that's kind of something that I'm concerned about, because I want you to see over here. I don't know whether this is just how the background goes or if you're doing some weird burning and dodging. The picture's also underexposed, and I'm going to show you it's underexposed because this is black and this shadow detail is also black, but it's not black. It's underexposed because in order for you to make this 100% DMAX, like black, well, this whole image would then be much darker. That's because the exposure isn't right on the entire image. Because if the exposure was right on the entire image, then this would be 100% jet and this would be exposed properly. So there's some technical issues. I'm betting you don't have a light meter. And I'm betting that your click, oh, that looks okay, and then shooting pictures. Because not having a light meter means that it means that your exposure is off and you don't even know how much it's off when you're shooting, because you see an image, you're like, all right, looks perfect. But then now when you're in Lightroom, then you realize this was supposed to be a black background. And I bet you this is a black piece of fabric. I'm betting you that the chair is probably painted black. I'm betting you he's wearing black jeans, black boots, and a black shirt. But notice none of them render black. They all render quite gray, and that's exposure. So I do appreciate what you're doing with the light. Like you're trying to do some inspired light. I can tell you a couple of things. First, this light is too much from the side. I can see how side light that is. And you can see it so much from the side that you're actually shadowing his eyeball. His eyeball is shadowing in this corner because an eye is a globe. Not only that, you're also obviously getting no light on the other side of his face, but you're creating new shadows on his face because of how from the side you're bringing this light in. You can get the same feeling of half light. If this is your subject in the chair and you're here, you have your light coming in from here. You can have the same feeling with the light coming in from here without getting all of these other weird things. You still get the half light, but you get a little bit of Rembrandt on this side, which looks way flattering. So light placement. Your second light on this side, the second light on this side, the exposure you have here and here is even. This is a highlight. So this needs to come in hotter or lower. Like you have to have one light as your main light and one light as your secondary light. This source and this source can't come in at the same exposure, which they are right now. I hope that helps you. Again, the background, we're shooting with cameras that have too much high resolution for you to be like, look at what the floor looks like. I look at this. I look at this and I look at all the dust and all of that stuff on the floor and all the wrinkles and this is client work, right? So all of this, like if you see it physically when you're there, it's going to show up on camera. So, heyo, someone got a super soft. Thank you for buying a gaff tape tee. Whoever your name is there, someone, and one other item. I appreciate you. So Mr. Brandon Garner, you have something. You're a portrait photographer. I want you to work on the sets. Try not to build an entire set for a whole, and again, I want you to think smaller sets. Think how stronger this could be if you actually didn't show the floor. That cuts out so much of the distraction, and then wasn't standing while he's sitting and hitting him at a proper angle. That also cuts out the floor. So I want you to be thinking, I don't know what the rest of your work looks like. It helps me greatly if you share a link with my team so we can see what the rest of stuff looks like. But this is a very good swing. Thanks for submitting. Remember everything that I said. And by the way, the only way to get jet black is with velveteen. Simple and clean, not crushed velveteen, but straight traditional velveteen, thick ply velveteen is how you get jet black. I have a piece right here in my closet. I'll show you. This is the bag that I keep my velveteen. So watch this. Watch how insane this material is. I'm trying to go fast. I have lots of people. But this is velveteen. This is black cloth, right? Black cloth. You see how it's gray? See? It's gray. Because I'm lighting it, right? There's light right here. Watch this. This is black velveteen. And look at this. You see how much blacker that is? And look, if I just, so that is how you make a black background. Velveteen. Now, black fabric, this is what black fabric looks like. See all the wrinkles? See all the wrinkles? Look, see this side? It has pile, so it can't have wrinkles. It eats light. What a difference, right? So, velveteen, that is how you get a black background. And also, it's how you make something on set disappear. Just disappeared half my couch. You see? Like, now imagine if this main light wasn't on or these rear lights weren't on. See that now? It just pushes, no reflection, no kickback, nothing, no highlight. Look at the difference. Let's turn it over onto the cloth side. Let's turn it over onto the cloth side and turn this light on now. You see how it's catching the highlight there? You see that highlight? It's the cloth side. This, I always have a piece of this in my camera bag, and then anybody I shoot, if there's a shitty location, can always pull out and do the perfect black like I do in so many of my photographs. Here's my plug. Let's show you some Colin Firth shot in a hotel room. Shot in a hotel room. Jared Nathan, golden ticket winner from Kill Tony, shot against that piece of black. Look, like I can have this background and just put the black up and that's what it looks like. So the right piece of black is going to help you so much. And I'm not trying to go on a tangent. Ja Rule, black background. You see, it's jet, actually black. It's actually black. Actual black. Actual black. That's the difference between fabric, paper, and velveteen. Yeah, it's got to be the right one. And you see the difference, right? This is cloth. All right, I hope that helps you. Let's get into Gerard Danso. Gerard, let me know if I can keep this image in my book. 5D Mark III, 7200, 2.8. F5, 250 to the second, 125. All right, this is Gerard Danso. Gerard, let's see what you got. Thanks for submitting. Better on the pose, better on the idea. I don't hate it. It's just underexposed a touch, but I don't mind it. It's bold. I think the exposure's off though, just based on how her teeth are looking like kind of gray. I feel like the exposure is just a touch under. The pose is okay. It's cute. The bare feet is cute. Yes, I just want you to give me plus 10 to 15% exposure on this. I would, yeah, but still for me, I like this. This is a vibe. Let me show you what this looks like as an 8x10. So you cropped it very well, Gerard. It works very well as an 8x10. Good for you. And very well as a cover. Okay, Gerard, I'm not mad at you anymore. Good job, bro. This is an 11 from me, Gerard. Well done. Gerard, Taylor's happy. Gerard gets very upset when he upsets me. Gerard, you did well this week, my guy. Good job. This is a yes. Good job. And again, it's powerful. It fits the brief. Okay, this is Torrance Davis. You're clicking ahead too far. You're clicking too far ahead. Don't check it done until I've reviewed it, please, Nick. Please. All right. This is Torrance Davis. Torrance said, picture of my dad in high contrast, shot in my home studio. Fuji X-T3, 56mm 1.2, ISO 160, f9, 1/60th of a second. This is Torrance Davis. Torrance, thanks for submitting. So you went too far with the contrast for me. Like this kind of look is very like mid-90s, like film, like extra, like we used to shoot like lith film to get stuff like looking so high contrast. We don't need to do that. It's just a trick. It's just a crutch. Just be contemporary. Be right now. There's no need to be like, I'm going to do a high contrast portrait or a low it's just make good work. Torrance, this is a vibe. Let's zoom in a little bit on your papa. I'm not sure about your focus and where your focus is. I'm seeing like this is my 100% right here. And at 100%, I'm seeing this area here in focus. But what I need you to focus on is that line right here between the white and the color of the eye. That is what has to be rip, tack, sharp. When I'm looking at his shirt, I'm seeing his shirt in focus, but I'm not seeing his eyes in focus, which is where that needs to be super. And for me, the contrast is just way too far. I'm just going to say it flat, Torrance. If you're moving your contrast beyond 10, it's too far. Okay. It's too far. And if you need to move your contrast beyond 10, then your lighting is flat. So your situation, you could have left your contrast at 0 and I would have had some nuanced shadow detail up here. I actually would have had nuanced detail in the fabric, considering maybe the shirt company might want to see the fabric. But because you crushed the blacks, that just eliminates seeing the quality of the piece because you're contrast, and it eliminates like seeing any nuance in here in shadow detail. So this is why we don't do that. So don't just jump on a technique because you heard someone say super high contrast or crush the blacks or whatever. It's not a thing, and it defeats our purpose, which is trying to serve clients. And I'm sure that you're here so you can learn how to serve clients and make work that people care about. So don't go on tangents. Right now, this is a too much contrast. Usually it's too little contrast. That's usually what I come up against. It's rare that it's like, bro, this is too much contrast. Like, I'm not sure what the number is at. I'm guessing your contrast number is at 40. It should be at 7. Do you know what I mean? That's what I want you to lock in. Okay. I hope that helps you. That is Torrance Davis. Again, very competent portrait. I'd love to see it resubmitted without the contrast. Okay. Without it going so far. And focus, bro. Like, you're shooting with a Fuji X-T3. I'm sure it has eye tracking. Make sure that it's like really grabbing. You're shooting at f9. There's no reason why it should be so shallow. Okay. Yeah, like, make sure that you give me some really tight, sharp photos. This is Dana McKenzie. Missing Dana. It's been a forever since this guy's been around. So this is a local tattoo artist. D810 50 millimeter 1.8 ISO 64 5.6 1 over a 60th, so a 60th of a second, with a single strobe. This is Dana McKenzie. Dana, this is a vibe, Dana. I like this. I like this. I like this. We're losing a little bit of the top of your frame because, again, obviously the top of your frame comes up here, but it's just like we see this under roof. Like, you let this under roof come through. You see, just cut the picture here, bro. Just cut that there. And also now the railing, and then like this frame going right into her ear holes. Like, I appreciate her body language. It's just where you placed her. I know, again, exposure is dark in the background, but I'm figuring, is there a way to make it so we don't have these perspective lines, and then because she's not then squared up perfectly in front of that door, well, then now that throws me. And then guess what else? These lines coming down here are crooked, and these lines coming down here are converging in this way. So that now, like, once you give me a reference point to reference against, well, now I'm checking your work, and I'm checking to see how straight things are. And because you're below her and you're aiming up, well, then naturally these lines are going to be converging, which they are, but they're not converging exactly. You know, like, there just becomes like a lot of things that I'm seeing here that are taking my eye away from her. And she's got such a great face. She's got such a great face. Sorry, let me do this. Let me do this. She's got a great face. She's got great detail. She's got great ink. Like, there's so many, like, there's so much uniqueness about this girl, Dana, but I'm competing with her because of like what's going on back here and how it's textured up here and then not here and not down here, but textured up here. So for me, in a perfect world, I see a picture of this girl in a place that's not distracting. And I also want you to see she's wearing a black dress, and that black dress is now being eaten back here, because you can see the dress kind of comes down here, but the black here and the black dress, like, we're losing it. So there's something here. I'm so glad you're back. I just really wish that this was shot in a different spot. If you had the strobe, bring her back and stand her up against this door, and like then make the door the background, and don't have her standing on the steps or sitting on the steps. Or then you have to stand up and then frame her so the door is sort of framing her, so she's kind of on the, but again, this railing is distracting. So I'm very interested in, like, again, this is, you have to shoot this girl again. She's so special. I just need to see a different portrait, and I want you to be hyper aware of what's behind her, because for me, this is way too distracting for me, Dana. I hope that helps. That's Dana McKenzie. How we doing here? We're halfway through now. Whew. I'm trying to roll here. All right, this is Adam Lee. Adam says he got the note about shooting at 1.2 on Tuesday. He'll correct for his next shoot, because he also shot this at 1.2. You can see how it's like people just lock it in and then they just shoot everything that way. It's like, I have a 1.2, I'm gonna shoot everything on 1.2. And it's just like the percentage of out of focus photos is just out of control. Like it's like in focus, out of focus, in focus, out of focus. Like that's like the slightest, like a person breathes out of focus, like the smallest thing, because you're shooting at 1.2. So I went deep on that last week. Shot with the Z8 50 millimeter 1.2 ISO 100 250th of a second at 1.2, and you're also shooting with a strobe. Like again, you don't need to okay, Adam, please don't shoot 1.2 when you're also using artificial light. F8 should be where you are. F5.6 should be where you are, not 1.2. All right, this is Adam Lee. Adam, thanks for submitting. So I understand, like, you're shooting a shallow depth of field because of the background. But then for me, it's like you're shooting in an underground parking lot and backgrounds are distracting naturally in an underground parking lot. The leading, like, again, this is a cool shot, bro, but it's just, that's all it is. It's like, cool shot, bro, but is this going to move your needle enough to the point where you are like the most sought after photographer in the world? Like for me, technically, when we come up this way, this is when the shot starts to fall apart. Because when I actually come up here, I can see that she's not in focus, which is exactly what I said happens when you shoot at 1.2. So looking at this picture and looking at, like, if this is, oops, sorry, ignore that. Go back one photo. When I zoom in or when I show you the whole photo, like I shouldn't, like her eye here, it looks like that's what you were trying to focus on. It looks like you were trying to do that. But when I look at it at 100%, you can see that you missed. And then for me, now what's the other thing is the contrast. Now it's like we're losing the detail on the backside of her hair. It's just shooting flash at 1.8, like at wide open. And then we're losing detail underneath her pants. Like we're losing shadow detail. That could be contrast. The boots are not like high end enough for you to be featuring in a photo. These boots are like, they're not high end enough. I will just say that for you to be featuring in a photo. The styling in this picture, yeah, I got it. Rock and roll chick, whatever. It's just, if you're trying to be shooting stuff that's like getting you contemporary work, the styling is such a part of it. I don't know, man. This for me is a bit of a miss. It's a bit of a technical miss. You didn't need to be so shallow. You could have shot this at f4 and still got the same kind of depth of field, but without like hurting yourself technically. I don't know. I would like to see some more location choices. You seem to be stuck on this underground parking lot vibe. I'd like to see you get out of it. Show me some more work. I just need to see a new trick, Adam Lee. All right. This is Daniel Joseph. Shot this specifically for this assignment. This is all the way from New Zealand. This is Daniel Joseph. Shot with the Canon 5D Mark IV, 50mm 1.4, ISO 250, 1/1250th of a second at 3.5. This is natural light, and this is Daniel Joseph. Daniel, thanks for submitting. There's a vibe here. I mean, it's a bit, she's in a pose, but, and again, I would love you to look at magazines. We talked about this in Portfolio Lab. We talk about this often. The new pose is no pose. The new pose is no pose. She is posing. She's looking off. I've talked much about connecting with the viewer. I have no connection with this girl. And I don't get it. She's holding her tie in such a way. She's a girl. She's wearing a guy's suit. And then she's looking off to the side. The styling with the bun, like, girls look sexiest with their hair down, just FYI. So whenever you're a photographer and someone comes to you and they have their hair tied up in a bun like a granny, you say, take your hair down, please. It's just so much like sexier. Imagine this shot with her hair down. And now it just makes her look more Farrah Fawcett rather than like trying to be like, it's just the whole playing the androgynous thing with this particular execution. It's not working for me, Daniel. This is a black suit. You can see this is actually black. So you can see there's like a little bit of underexposure. When you look in the shadow detail, you can see there's a little bit of underexposure. And then also the framing. Look at this as a cover. You see how high up her head is in the masthead? Imagine I just hired you to shoot this for Vogue, and then this is the picture that you gave me. And I'm like, thanks for it, but I can't use it. And you're like, why? I'm like, where does the name of my magazine go? Where does it go? Oh, and so every single frame, every single vertical is a magazine cover. If you don't lock that in, then you'll never shoot covers. You can't put your subject like a centimeter away from the top of the line. Like, give me, and down here, all of this stuff is inconsequential. You need to cut her right here. So you can see as an 8x10, like now as an 8x10, I'm going here, over here. As an 8x10, that's now my frame. But you see, cut the bottom that way and leave that space on the top so I have a place to put my masthead. So, Daniel, this is close, but this is a miss. It's a miss on the pose. It's a miss on what she's doing, like holding the tie. She's got a nice French manicure. She's a pretty girl, but it's a miss shooting her with a bun, bro. It's a miss shooting her in this type of a suit. It just doesn't hit. It doesn't hit as hard. Like this was cool back with like Robert Palmer and like that kind of vibe, like girls dressing up as guys. But like right now, this isn't the styling. This isn't very right now. So if you're going forward shooting fresh ideas, but they're already dated, that means that your research material is wrong. Your reference material is wrong. You need to look at a current Italian Vogue, Australian Vogue, French Vogue, British Vogue, Korean Vogue, Vogue Singapore. Like, look to see what's in right now and what photography, proven photography that's been approved by thousands of editors that have said, yes, this needs to be in this magazine. Look at those photos and then see those poses and see if you can find a girl with a bun wearing a men's suit. You're not going to find that. But it's like, but because of that, the intelligent imitation is we do what is currently happening and currently working without deviating from our style. We imitate everything that is currently working and currently getting bought and hired. And then when people see us, they're like, oh my God, this is exactly what I'm looking for, without compromising your style or biting any. But if you don't look at magazines and you just do what you think is cool, well, then the odds of you missing, especially if you're not a fashionista, you're not totally watching Hypebeast and up on like everything that's happening in music videos and all that stuff. Like, if that's not the case, if that's not you, you're not like a fashion person, you better learn. Because if not, then the girl's like, hey, I'm thinking about wearing a guy's suit. And you're like, okay, great. I'd be like, okay, why? Oh, it's just an idea. It's like, show me the reference. Show me the magazine where you see it right now in 2025. Find it. Oh, well, it's like, okay, well, we'd only do proven ideas. We only do ideas that we know they're going to work. Don't spend any time on an idea that you're not sure of, because then you're just slowing your journey between here and your finish line. So this, for me, is dated already. It was dated as soon as you shot it, because again, you're not shooting tomorrow, you're shooting 20 years ago in this one, Daniel. So again, bro, it's about the reference material. Buy a Vogue, and please, 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 please don't shoot girls with their hair up. Don't shoot girls with a bun, with like it needs to be like, it just adds, it molds their face. It adds such oomph. That's why we do it. So there's like, I never let a subject just with their hair up. It's just a no. And if you look at my work, you'll see like with almost 100% consistency, there's no hair up. There's no hair up. Hair down. Hair down. It's always hair down. Hair down. This is a skin campaign, so it doesn't really count. But it's always hair down. Always hair down. It's the girl at their best is with their hair down. Hair up is like, I'm in between. I'm doing something else. So my hair's in the way. So I'm going to put my hair up because it's in the way. So that's not what we shoot. We don't shoot photos when someone's considering their hair as something that's in the way. That's not something that we do. Okay? I hope that helps you. And also with this, it makes her face look round. Because you're pulling her hair back, she doesn't have those wisps to come down here and to shape her face. So because of that now, this looks round. You see what I'm saying? And then also the head angle, because you're now seeing under here, then she looks chubby. Because we're not supposed, like, the head angle is supposed to be set in such a way that we don't see under here. That means from the side, we don't see under here. We keep the head at such an angle that the jawline always looks. And if you're not doing that, that's what hair is for. That's why we have the hair down here, to hide this part of her jawline and those shadows, so it looks better. I hope that helps you. That is, guys, Mr. Daniel Joseph, all the way from New Zealand. All right, Daniel. All right. Ooh, this is Kyle Kiono. Self-portrait. A7 4. Self-portraits are a no-no unless you're doing an assignment. Kyle, our self-portrait assignment has passed. No self-portraits. It's part of the rules. No self-portraits. They're usually a mail-in excuse for when you don't have someone who you can actually do the real work with. And rarely will pictures of you be going in your portfolio. So anytime that you're doing reps of self-portraits, it's in here in Portfolio Lab, you're going to see me get irritated. Unless I'm giving a self-portrait assignment, unless you're specifically shooting, this is for my about page, there's no self-portraits, okay? This is the last one, all right? This is shot with the Sony a7 IV 50 millimeter, ISO 80, a fourth of a second. A 40th of a second at 1.4. You're shooting wide open as well, Kyle. You heard me talk about shooting wide open 3 times in a row. Don't shoot wide open, okay? Don't shoot wide open. That means don't shoot wide open. So next time, don't shoot wide open, okay? This is Kyle Kiono. Let's get it on, Kyle. Kyle, thanks for submitting. The reason that I say don't shoot wide open is because of the exact thing that's happening right here in this photo that you shot wide open. Do you see how your eyes are in focus and every other thing in this photo is not? Every other thing, which again is cool for an instant until the client has like, hey, we're trying to sell this. We're trying to sell this. Now, your eyes being in focus and your mouth not being in focus, it's not acceptable. Like some hair is in focus, some hair, like all of this, I need you to see it and look at it and be like, okay, yes, great sharp eyes, amazing. But you could get the same effect at f4, the same effect at f4, like without the like sloppiness. So for me, like I look at this picture at this size and the first thing I say is your mouth is out of focus and your nose, because this area is the center of your being, this here, and it's out of focus. And then I also follow that up to your forehead where you're making very express, and it's also out of focus. And in fact, it's out of focus down like this whole center of the picture. Like this whole center of the photo is out of focus. So that's a fail. And it can never, we can't be like, it was a style choice. It's like, bro, that shit does not wash in the industry. Well, I wanted to do that. Well, it's because you don't know the right information. You don't know what you don't know. Therefore, you choose to shoot wide open. So again, I get emphatic. And for those people who watch me at home, how often do you see photographers submitting wide open? And how often when I say it's going to be out of focus, is it out of focus? 98% of the time. So I see these patterns, and I see these patterns that new photographers do because I have a lens that does 1.8. I will never shoot anything else but 1.8. I have a lens that does 1.2. I shall never shoot anything else that isn't 1.2. Please stop that immediately. It's really like, it's like grade school. You got a pair of new running shoes, and now you run to the store, you run here, you run there, you run over here. Like, you're just showing everybody how cool you can run because you got your new running shoes. That's the equivalent. It's what it looks like from a pro when you're shooting wide open. Okay? So, Kyle, this is a dope picture, but you have to do it again because it's a mess. Okay? That's Kyle Kiyono. And no more self-portraits. There's not a need for them, and they're helping you break down your like insecurities as far as being in front of the camera. But for submitting, I need you on this side of the camera, seeing what you're doing so you can be a better photographer. You're not a model. This isn't camera tricks 101. I want you to be learning how to make photos that get you work. I promise you won't be in a single one of those photos. I promise you. Find subjects, Kyle. It's very important. All right, guys, that's Kyle Kiyono. This, as we're getting into the second half of the show, this is Jay Tracy. And by the way, guys, we're in this show here. I can't be in this show doing photo reviews and also on Zoom talking. So if I start getting people jumping into my Zoom at 2:30, I'm going to get really pissed off because I'm here doing this for you. This is Jay Tracy. Thanks for your time and expertise. A7R Mark III, 16 to 35, ISO 800, 3.2 at a 500th of a second shot on location underwater. This is Jay Tracy. Jay, this is a much better picture with this girl. It's a much, much, much better capture with her. Much better. As a vertical, yes, this would also work as a horizontal. I want you to see this as a magazine cover. You can see her hands. Like for me, Jay, I know that this is a horizontal picture that you turned vertical. We don't usually swim upwards this way without kind of trying to torpedo. You know what I mean? So for me, this feels a little bit like this was a this way picture and you made it this way. I don't mind that, but it does interfere with the masthead and it interferes with her headspace, because I want you to notice like there's such a headspace here. And like if you'd shot this vertical, you would have composed it like a cover, because you know where the masthead goes. And I don't think that as a matter of fact, I'm almost willing to bet money that you shot this horizontal and then turned the camera vertical. Now, what is this going to look like as an 8x10? Because her hands are so jetted out, you see now this is no longer a photo of that swimsuit, because if it's this photo of the swimsuit, well, then we have to crop it down here. And then what happens with her hands? Well, the hands look super weird, which is why I know you had her doing that through the photo instead of, I mean, I might be wrong. She might be going up that way, but if that's the case, then she has to have, you shoot at high noon. So, yeah, her hands have to be back. So her face goes forward. So it's like, but the hands forward here for me just create a whole, like with this crop, creates a whole bunch of weird dynamics that don't really work. I prefer this to the last one, but I still think that there's another edit. The light on her face is great. The bubbles are great. Like we don't see enough of the suit. And I feel like swimsuits are going to be a big part of your category as far as who you're trying to shoot for. So the suit looking amazing and flattering on her, I think, is way more important than having like her arms up. So again, I would love to see yet another image. You can use this in your book, but I feel like still it's not quite where I'm trying to go with you, Jay. I hope that helps. Again, for me, it's the distance from the front of her face to where the tips of her fingers are. That gap, that's too far. It's too far, and it really affects layout. And you'll find it really will affect layout. And then not seeing this swimsuit when that could be a $500 swimsuit or a $400 swimsuit, like then that company that makes them wants to hire an underwater photographer that can shoot them in such a way that we can see them and they read. And for me, this one isn't it. All right, Jay, I hope that helps you. All right, that's Jay Tracy. Whoo, this is Daniel Van Cleef. Daniel, Fuji X Pro 3, 35 millimeter, 1/60th of a second, 160 ISO, 1/950th of a second. I've never seen that reading before in my life. f4.5. This is Daniel Van Cleef. Let's get it on. Daniel, thanks for submitting. Daniel, this is a vibe. Bit of a textured background, which I asked for. Really nice side light. It's just the elbow coming into frame. Again, it's like... stop her from doing this. Stop her from doing this, because she's putting her elbow forward, which we just had a whole conversation about that earlier, right? Like, elbows in frame look like an amputee. It's not flattering, and you can see like elbow forward. This arm, great. Have this arm do the same thing. And then eye contact, Daniel. Eye contact. We talked about that too. Eye contact connects you with the viewer, connects her with the viewer. She's looking down. So I don't know what's over here, but that's like, and then this shirt, Moire effect all day with this shirt. I want you to look at this shirt. This is a white shirt, but it's ribbed, which creates a shadow. And now as I make this shirt smaller, I want you to see the digital effects that start to happen in this shirt. You see the digital effects that are happening up here, over here, all down here, up here. That digital effect is happening between, it's called the Moire effect. And that is simply because of the dark shadow and light highlight, like this in a row. And look at all down here, how it's all spirally, and all over here. So ribbed fabrics, also Moire. And it wasn't as predominant in the last one, Daniel, but it's very predominant in this one. There's an image here, like, I like the idea. There's an image here, I like the texture, but I just want to see this girl look at camera. I don't want to see her hand back there. I don't want to see her elbow there. I just want to see her look at camera. So for me, again, I would love to see a different pose. Again, still, Daniel. And please, eye contact. Eye contact. Eye contact. Eye contact. Super important. Eye contact. Such a beautiful girl. Eye contact. Why not? All right, this is Chris Foster. This is Chris Foster, shot with R5, ISO 100. ISO, I'm drunk. RF 100 millimeter 2.8 macro, so 100 millimeter macro, L series, ISO 200, half a second, f8. So this is Chris Foster. Chris, let's get it on. Thanks for submitting. Much closer, Chris. Much closer. Really dope idea. It's just the contrast. It's just a bit gray. I want you to just notice the gray. Overall, this has just that gray feels. Obviously, we got gray sky. This is red, but obviously it reads gray. And down here as well. But this is white. And that also, it reads gray. Like, this is white, but it reads gray. And I'll show you white. Like up here, this is white. Up here, right? And then if I show you back this, oops, one more back. This. So this is white. And I'm gonna show you this. And look at this white now, down here. Look at this white, and then look at white, and look at white. So you realize it's actually not white. This is also gray. Like if white is 100%, this is about 80 to 85, right? So the whitest thing is not white. And then usually the gum walls are even white as well. And this feels even more gray. So this is just a contrast thing. So I want you to be thinking about fixing the contrast. The location is good. Your horizon line could lower because you can see you dropped your horizon line through the shoes again, right? Although different horizon line, different location, you still can lower yourself or raise the Nikes so they're not straight through the horizon. Again, Chris, this is better, but you're making environmental product photos, which is a different category. So how we're doing now these, again, it's very dependent on what's around. I see that you're outside a basketball court because the basketball court's on the other side of the wall. So can we get on that side and then shoot these on the court and then do a top down of them on the court, an actual clay basketball court? Or, you know what I mean? Like, how your idea development is what I'm wanting to help you with, developing your ideas. This is close, Chris. This is close. It's definitely better than last week. It's just gray. You got to fix the contrast and really notice, does this look gray to you? And when you, and even zoom in on an area, and be like, is there enough black, white, and gray here? Or is my white's kind of gray and my black's kind of gray? And then obviously when you're looking at areas where the shoe is not, you see how overall gray the feeling is. So I think that brings us to our next shooter, which is Doyle Daniels. Doyle said, I took some film photos of my friend Oracle. That was not great. So took my advice and brought the Z8 and shot it on digital this time instead of film. Z8, 50mm 1.2, ISO 64, f4, 1/320th of a second. This is the mighty Doyle Daniels. Doyle, this is a stronger, better image for sure. It's very textured. You're creating an environmental portrait. There's something here, Doyle. There's something here. Let's look at him a little bit closer. Well focused. Yeah, Doyle, this is pretty close for me, my guy. Let's look at this as a cover. It's strong as a cover. Let's look at this as an 8x10. You compose this well for an 8x10. It's a little busy, but the nature of this location and his truck is everything. It's kind of busy and he's kind of a textured character. This is a yes for me, Doyle. The contrast is perfect. And I want you to notice we see black, we see white, crisp white, and we see gray. We have the full range of under here, you see my black and you see his black. You see his black, you see my black. You see white, white, white. Deep under here, same 100% D-Max under here. And where it shouldn't be 100% black is not. This is a masterclass in contrast, Doyle. This is yes for me. That's a yes. Yeah. This is contrast. This is what it's supposed to look like. And just to see the difference, just looking back, you see here, Chris, you see that gray. Look at the difference. You see how it just feels so much brighter is because he's now white, black, gray, where this feels like it's gray, off-white and gray. You know what I mean? So again, really, really good on the contrast, and it's a great shot, Doyle. Thank you for submitting. This is Doyle Daniels. How we doing? We're down into the last 5 or 6, 28 photos today. It makes me happy that you guys submitted. Good shit. Mike Morrison, haven't seen you for a minute. Let's go. Sony A7R5, 24-70. Hey, Doyle. Doyle just gifted 10. 10. Doyle, you're such a king. Thank you, brother. Doyle just gifted 10 memberships to the Carty crew. 10. So you at home, you probably just got one. Doyle, you're a king. Wow, Doyle. And Doyle, you hit this. You hit this. And again, you shot this before, and I was like, no. You shot on film. I got mad. I'm like, you have a fucking $6,000 camera, and you're shooting with a toy. And not that film is a toy, but yeah, this is so much better. And look at how great it works in black and white. You can just tell your friends you shot it on film. They'll believe you. Hey, yo, what? What? Pathological gamer? You just dropped a 10 bomb? What? Pathological gamer, you are a gent and a generous one. You and Doyle, holy moly, thank you so much. My heart rate's not up. Sorry, let me cue my heart rate up there. I like to show how hard I'm beaten when moments like this happen. But today I was just so late meeting with this consultant before my session here. I couldn't set up my heart rate. Doyle, you did well. And of course, thank you, Mr. Pathological Gamer. All right, Mike Morrison, back to you, Mr. Mike Morrison, top down on this motorcycle. Let's have a look. Mike Morrison, thanks for submitting. This is a vibe, Mike. I mean, other than the fact that we can't get the whole handlebar because like this bike is so wide, this is really strong. Let's look at this as a cover. Strong. I think just a little bit of improvement in contrast. I just want you to look again at my 100% black and think of how we can get more 100% black in here. It's pretty close on the contrast for me, Mike Morrison. Let's look at this as an 8x10. This is where we might running into a little bit of problems. Because as an 8x10, you can see I have to keep that front wheel in. And now that's the shot. So we're going to lose the seat, part of the engine. When we do it this way, as long as you know that. For me, this was just a little close. I feel like if we pulled back and saw just a little bit of these, the brake here, a little bit more of the brake, a little bit more of the handle, and just given that just a little bit of space, go up 6 more feet and just show me more of this bike. And then that means you keep this up here, but you get to now show me more down here, more of the bike that way. But again, Mike Morrison, this is a really good swing. Thanks for submitting. Very, very good. Very good. Very good. Mike Morrison, missing that guy. It's been a minute since this guy's been submitting. This is Anton Duris, Sony a6600, 18-50, ISO 100, f9, 1/500th of a second. This is one of my travel photographers. His name is Anton Duris. Anton, thanks for submitting. Heyo, thanks for subscribing. Why? Appreciate you. All right, this is a vibe. Nice low horizon line, Anton. Again, I'm not used to seeing black and white from you. Really like beautifully strong architecture. I mean, now this becomes like, that becomes a horizon line, which is quite high. I like it though. I mean, this is the architectural structure that is like the showstopper. This picture would also work as a horizontal. Like if you just see it, let me show it to you this way. This picture would almost work as a horizontal as well, which I would drop quite low like this. And you can see this as a double-ish around here-ish. You know, like it actually would work as a horizontal. But you shot this as a vertical. Let's look at this. Oops, sorry. Ignore that. Let's look at this at 100% again. Let's hide that cover. This is strong, Anton. Really strong. I like this as a cover. I think as an 8x10, it's going to show really strongly as well, which it does. You have your option of how much sky you want to show. The contrast is great. The contrast is great. you're one of those people, Anton, where you need to add more black and white to your book. Like, because you don't shoot it and you have such amazing work that also would convert. This is a yes for me. This is a yes. This is a really strong picture, Anton. Really strong photo. Really strong. That's an 11 for me. That's an 11. An 11, 11, 11, 11 for me. Guess what, babies? Accelerator is coming back. I know you've been waiting, and the wait is almost over. The application process for my Professional Photographers Accelerator opens again for the next round very soon. This is your opportunity to join a transformative 12-week program designed to help you build a thriving photography career. This isn't a course, by the way. This is a career accelerator program for photographers who are ready to elevate their craft and their business. Over 3 months, you'll dive into my proven 6-phase system, learning everything that you need to succeed, from building a market for your work to creating high-value offers and developing client acquisition systems that deliver consistent results. Over 12 weeks, I give you focused training and live group mentorship, which builds your roadmap and will fast-track your success for your photography business. This means bi-weekly group masterclasses that take you through each phase of my system, equipping you with actionable tools to overcome roadblocks and thrive. Weekly cohort sessions to keep you accountable, working alongside other ambitious photographers while getting personalized support from me. When you join my Professional Accelerator, you're stepping into a community of photographers just like you. Many have already completed my 6-phase system, and they're now refining their craft by going through it again. They've walked the path that you're about to take, and they're here to support your journey every step of the way. Together, they're helping me ensure that you succeed. This unique level of peer and mentor support is what makes my accelerator truly special. You're not just learning, you're surrounded by a network of experienced photographers who understand your challenges and are dedicated to seeing you thrive. Joining my waitlist is your only chance to access this exclusive program. Spots are really limited, and my accelerator fills up really quickly. Visit thecartymethod.com/accelerator to join the waitlist now and make 2025 the year of your photography career transformation. All right, I'm just changing the time. Make sure, guys, if you're interested in my accelerator, we are shifting this from 12 weeks to 6 weeks. Now, how I'm going to do my next accelerator, I have a lot of information. The last round, we did it bi-weekly. So we did it over 12 weeks. So Saturday accelerator, week off, Saturday accelerator, week off. We did it like that. Now it's going to be an intensive, it's going to be a sprint. Now it's going to be like Saturday, 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 Saturday for 6 weeks. And then 6 months of pro level support, 6 months of pro lab, 6 months of portfolio lab with me included. And you get to go through my system at your own pace with support from me and my team. It's like the best way. My accelerator is insane. We're going to start that again, likely in June, because I want a little bit of time to promote it. And I also have people in my accelerator and their round ends in June. So we're talking about for the next round, those people, they're getting it in 6 days. So people like you, Daniel, who are ripe and ready to buy my system. Now the question is, do you buy my system or do you get my system within the accelerator as a sprint? Like, again, these two offers are very, one of them is like you do it at your own pace. The other one, I deliver it to you. So that's the main difference. All right, guys. So I changed Pro Lab, our meeting, our portfolio lab meeting today to 3:15 because we're not doing it at 2:30. Because that's in 15 minutes. So 3:30, that's when we're going to start, 3:15. We'll do it in an hour. All right. So we got 5 more photos to go, starting with Stymats. Stymats is leaning in on people. Mike, you've been a people photographer. So like you're a people person. You've been a people photographer the whole time. The only thing is like you've been I don't want to say in denial, but I want to say like you haven't really been like trying to be a people photographer for a while. Anytime you shoot people, you really kill it. So I'm just interested in seeing what you're doing here. Our eight with the 50 millimeter 1.8, 50th of a second, 7.1 ISO 100. This is shot natural light. This is Michael Steinmetz. Mike, this is a vibe. This is a vibe, although it feels a little snapshot, Mike, and not portrait. I mean, you guys are here, you're sitting, probably having lunch or something like that. You pulled out your camera, you snapped a shot. The background is really what I'm seeing first. Is I'm seeing barbecue coming out of his head, which means, hey, you guys are sitting on a patio where barbecues happen. Snapshot, not a portrait. And then I'm seeing some sort of barbecue counter and blah, blah, blah. Like you're in a lunch spot somewhere on a break. And I see that. So this is why this reads. Now he's wearing a Carhartt shirt. He's got a great beard. He's got a vibe. Take this guy to a location and shoot him the way that you shot Joseph. Like he needs to be up against a he can't be just like, and that's what you're shooting, Mike. That's exactly what he's doing. He's literally just like where he is. And in order to like endeavor into the portrait genre, well, now you're starting all over with like executing ideas for yourself that are at a high level. And that means removing distractions and all like the trees and the stuff like that. And like you're skimming the background and these leading lines and all of this stuff that like there's lots of different lines and lots of different distractions here and windows and like this, like, so you got to go right back to basics, which is like him up against a wall, like just really in the right light. It's rarely going to be like, hey, we're just sitting here. And again, he can't be leaning back. He has to be projecting forward. And again, imagine if my thumbnails, they looked like this. I was leaning back. Instead of all my thumbnails, I'm like projecting forward to you, right? So just that, like I'm holding my camera, I'm projecting forward. Like that's the thumbnail, right? Versus like that's a statement. You're making a statement with his body language. It's too chill a statement. And this counter growing through his face and this barbecue, this is just like, again, because you're new at this niche, you're not seeing the things that we see. So you have to now like scan the whole frame and be looking for non-distracting. Okay. Blank wall. Okay, perfect. That's something I can build on. And start super, super, super simple, because like with location photography, every place you you want to take a picture is going to be the wrong spot. It's going to be the wrong spot. It's going to be the wrong spot until you get good at it. And it takes time to be able to visualize what a final will look like before you shoot the photo. It really takes time. So that's where we're trying to get you next, Mike, is really, really looking at the locations before you shoot them and the kind of spots that you're choosing. Like location makes the photo. Like I want you to look at this location and how I'm lighting him, and the background looks like it's like at a different exposure. Location, this location, again, it's like I wanted it to look like Japan. This location, the background is like almost invisible. Like our locations are really, and how we use them is really important. So I want you to be thinking about how you use locations and how you put a person within a space in order to get a photograph. Like that part is all like really important. And when someone's being photographed, like their state of readiness is never this. It has to be like projecting to you. It makes such a huge difference, Mike. I hope that helps you. This is Mike Steinmetz. Thanks for submitting, Mike. All right. This is calligraphy. Calligraphy Z8, 85 millimeter, ISO 800, 2.8 at 1/100th of a second. Shot with a single Westcott light. This is the mighty calligraphy. Thanks for submitting. Okay. It's crooked. Like your lines are crooked because like I'm sure the floor is straight. But if your floor is straight and then this is like the line there is crooked, then that means that also the line on that is crooked. And then that also means that this axis is also crooked, which you can see. She's literally leaning and feeling like she's falling this way. You see? And her shoulders aren't squared up. So she's falling. So all you need to do is correct this in Lightroom and move this so it's straight, and this line is straight, and this line is also very straight. That's going to balance it a lot better. Facial expression, she needs to give something in the face. She just looks like she's like looking at you. There's no like sweetness, there's no sparkle, there's no like, you need to coax that sweetness out of her eyes. She just looks mad. So it's up to you to make her not look mad. And that's, again, a lot of ladies have resting face. So it's up to you to make it like, I'm sure she's not mad, but you didn't cue her out of this like attitude kind of face. So for me, again, I talked about this before. I wasn't 100% on the styling. I wasn't 100% on the hair. It's stronger in black and white because I don't see the blue elements that are inside her hair. It makes it less distracting. Straighten her out, straighten the frame out, and it'll hold up. But I still think that you got way better in you, calligraphy. I think that you got way better in you. I think that the styling in this picture is just a little bit busy. I hope that helps you. And again, I still need you to shoot. I need you to shoot more. There's not been enough submissions from you over the last little bit. I know you got life going on, but still dive into the work when your life isn't going amazing. This is Mr. Joseph Baldwin, EOS R 50 millimeter, ISO 250, f8 at 1/100th of a second. This is Joseph Baldwin. Joseph, this is another good swing with this girl. The exposure up here is just a touch hot. This is over by 1/3. We're going to call that plus 1/3. Yeah, that's all. It's just overall exposure just needs to come down. Just bring this down by 1/3 of a stop. It just needs to come down a touch. But overall, Joseph, this is strong. Let's look at this as a cover. This is yes as a cover. Let's get it on. Let's hide that. Let's look at this as an 8x10. You see, as an 8x10, Jay, you're going to lose her fingers, right? Like, what are you going to sacrifice? Are you going to sacrifice her bandana or her fingers? Because now you're sacrificing her bandana to include her fingers, or you're sacrificing her fingers to include the bandana. So again, it's a small thing, but you could have backed up like 12 more inches. Like literally, that's all it would have taken for you to be able to have this work as a perfect Instagram crop. Exposure wise, again, this is just over by plus 1/3. Give me that adjustment fix. That's going to bring down these pants so they're not quite as hot. It's going to bring down the black so it's a little bit tighter into here. Yeah, this is a yes for me. This is a yes. That's Joseph Baldwin. Well done, Joseph. Well done. Taylor, how we doing? You still with me? Still with me? Old people, you guys with me still? You having a good time? I hope so. It's what I do. I do this every Tuesday and Thursday. Pretend today's Thursday. Pretend. Because although it's Friday, I don't want people to think that I do this on Fridays, because I don't. I do this on Thursdays. But I had to do it on Friday because I was working yesterday. All right. We got 2 more photos. This is Ammon Thompson. Fuji X-T5 27 millimeter 1.2. ISO 125, f10 at 1/60th of a second. What are you guys doing to my screen over there? This is Ammon Thompson. Let's get it on, Ammon. Thanks for submitting. So this is great. Your wifey, her eyes go so squinty when she smiles. This is strong, Ammon. It's compositionally strong. You can see it works as a cover. Exposure still, I feel like, first of all, it's a little gray. I just want you to watch the contrast, because it's like skin is gray, sweater's gray. There's not really like a white. Let me hide this. Oops. Let me hide this. Getting a little bit of moire effect in the sweater. You see in here in the sweater, getting a little bit of moire. It's not that bad though. See, it's happening just a touch in there when we start to get a little smaller. Ammon, overall, this is a yes, man. It's a vibe. I love when you shoot pictures of your wife. We're always looking for more subjects for you, but it's great that you have a ringer that can stand in for you. I want you to notice the difference between your black and my black. You're very close, but again, a piece of velveteen. I know you're using the pop-up background. Velveteen would help you greatly. This is very, very, very close. Contrast-wise is even close. I think you could increase the contrast by, call this 20%. Just like whatever it's at, add 20% to that. So if it's at 10, take it to like 17 or whatever. See what that looks like. Overall, this is a yes for me, Ammon. Well done. Well done. Well done. Strong. Last photo of the day. Last photo of the day goes to Liza Hyder. Liza, D850 with a 50 millimeter lens, 1/250th of a second, f9 at ISO 200. And Liza has a light meter. And Liza, this light meter is serving you well. Look at you. This is perfect exposure, girl. Look at this skin. She's really popping here, Liza. I mean, I am seeing the offset angle. This is really strong. I am seeing the offset angle, and the reason is because you're giving me these anchors, you're giving me that seam, and you're giving me this seam, and I can only assume that these seams are straight lines, right? And they actually are converging at 90. So you can see they're converging at 90 degrees. So because of that, it's like, okay, well, that means just rotate her. Just rotate her over. So we're like, just rotate this. So this line is straight and this line is straight. And then her body language and her shoulders and everything, she'll seem more like she's more squared up, right? She'll seem like she's more squared up. Let's hide the cover. So yeah, I do notice that, because again, you're giving me a reference point. You're giving me this line against that. So I have a reference point to see how straight or not straight that this line is. Let's see this as an 8x10. You cropped this well, so it works as an 8x10. You can see here, it crops as an 8x10. We don't lose our fingers. I like it. You know, again, her hair kind of got a little bit pushed. Her hair got a little bit pushed up here. I'm not sure if you did anything to fix that in later frames. You can see that she needs like a little hair smoothie up here. I didn't notice that until just now, but that is a little bit of a thing that I'm noticing. Also, just seeing inside her jacket in here, seeing that label. What are we doing here? There we go. Oh, it's not a label. It's like just shiny. I would take that down. somehow. The clothes look good. She's wearing like a one piece, which is sexy. Or maybe it's two piece, but it looks like it could be a one piece. Skin looks good. Little bit of mouth open. Really nice details. This is really strong. This is a yes for me, Liza. Just straighten it for me. I can't believe it. Did I get to the end? Did I get to the end? Did I do 27 photos? Holy moly, that's exhausting. Whew. All black and white. How's my heart rate? We're doing okay. We're doing okay. Okay, I got to give you some photos of the week. Oh, got to give you some photos of the week. You ready? Before I give you next week's assignment, let's do photos of the week. I am doing this straight off of initial reaction, things that make me feel good. I've critiqued them all already. I'm just telling you now what I like and what are my best photos of the week, okay? Starting with this one right here. Your first photo of the week goes to Mr. Mike Graves. Mike, that's a photo of the week, buddy. Again, remember everything I said. I gave you a very detailed critique. I'm not going to point out anything else, but again, a photo of the week. One of the best of today. Thanks for submitting. That is Mike Graves' photo of the week. Another photographer. Let's get it on. Your next photo of the week goes to Mr. Romeo Fowler. Romeo, for this photo, it's compositionally sound. The only issue I have is just needs a little bit of contrast. Very, very strong portrait. Very strong portrait. Very well composed. That's a photo of the week for me. That is Romeo Fowler. Romeo. All right. Who else do we got? Very close. Okay, we're giving this guy some love. Photo of the week goes to Mr. Brandon Carter. Brandon, that's a photo of the week. Again, I don't want you to think I was hard on you. I gave you the truth. I just told you some things that I see, some things for you to watch out for. But this has swag. It has something. Next time, I want you to just try lower yourself, be at that same like eye line, so you're not aiming down at your subject. Just watch how different that is and how everything just like elevates once you do that. Okay? All right, here goes another photo of the week. Let's get it on. Photo of the week from Mr. Gerard Danso. Danso. Thank God you pulled it together this week. I was upset with you. Well done, Gerard. Very well done. Proud of you, brother. Mr. Gerard Danso. All right. Good shit. It's another one. This is a fucking great portrait. Pissed off at this guy because he went a little bit too far, but it's a great portrait. I got to give him love. Ladies and gentlemen, your next photo of the week goes to Torrance Davis. Torrance. Again, Torrance, great portrait. Great portrait. Too much contrast. You heard everything I said. I'm not going to say more of it. This is a fantastic picture. Just pull it back just a little bit. Resubmit it for me, okay? Well done. That's a photo of the week. Good shit. Dude. I'm just saying these are my favorite photos of the day. Okay. For you, this person who I'm about to give photo of the week to, this is on the condition that you reshoot this subject and take in mind every single thing that I told you about this picture. Okay. You have to reshoot this subject. Ladies and gentlemen, back, Mr. Dana McKenzie. Photo of the week, buddy. Thank you. There's something magic about this girl. I just want to see a different frame of her. I just want to see a different shoot of her. Shoot this again. Okay? That's Dana McKenzie. I mean, again, I know the level of work that Dana can do. Close. This picture speaks to me, although I'm pissed off at this photographer because of his wide openness. This speaks to me, though. This needs accolades, but you're going to shoot this again, and then you're going to shelve it, and then you're going to focus on shooting this picture with other people instead of you, okay? Guys, your next photo of the week goes to Kyle Kiono. Kyle, there's something here. There's something very special here. But I want you to remember everything that I said, okay? I'm still propping you, but there's just remember everything I said, okay? I'm giving you love. I'll just stop it there. It's Kyle Kiono. Got to give love here. Next photo of the week goes to Jay Tracy. Jay. Again, you remember all the things that I said. I don't need to go any deeper into it. It's a special photo. This is a photo of the week. Just remember arms, back, and all those details that I said. It's a great job. Smoke. I'm magic. All right. Who's next? Yes. Photo of the week goes to, this is Chris Foster right here. Chris, well done. Again, like you're onto something here. There's still this other shooter we have to build that's shooting these shoes in the studio. We have to build that shooter too. But I'm liking building this location shooter. It's fun. Just improve contrast for me. Show me this with a little bit more contrast. Okay, that's it. Well done, Chris. Oh yeah, this guy. Photo of the week goes to Dr. Doyle Daniels, Esquire. Let's go, Doyle. That is a photo of the week, buddy. It's textured, layered. It's busy, but it works. It's right. It's detailed. It's magazine editorial. It's a cover. It feels really good. That's a Doyle Daniels photo of the week. The level of technical perfection that this shooter's been working towards since he's been watching me has been really good. I'm really happy that this guy's back. I want more, but I got to show him love. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mike Morrison. Mike, there you go, buddy. That's a photo of the week. Again, remember everything that I said, but just holy shit, dude. You hit something here. I just need more consistency. I just want to see more is all I'm asking. Just more from you. All right, Mr. Morrison. Who else do we got? Let me look to see who else we have here. So I know. So ding, ding, ding. Okay, we're good. Your next photo of the week goes to, this is Anton Dudis. Anton, it's photo of the week. The crowd goes wild. It's very, very, this is almost an architectural photo, Anton. It's almost an architectural photo. It's an architectural environmental landscape photo. Like there's something here and I appreciate it. And incredibly well done on the processing. Very good on the processing. Black sky. You don't think I see that? Very good. All right. Next photo of the week. This is, this guy's been, photo of the week goes to Joseph Baldwin. JB, take it. Take it to the hoop. Take it, JB. Photo of the week, buddy. Well done. Again, remember everything I said, but still, very good. Very good. And we have a couple more photos of the week. Photo of the week. Ammond Thompson. Ammond brings me joy. Super easy. Brings me joy. And your last and final photo of the week. This is your last and final photo of the week, people. Yes. Your last and final photo of the week goes to Miss Liza Hyder.
Liza, congratulations, girl. You deserve it.
Killed it. Photo of the week, Liza. Guys, those are your photos of the week. Is there a best in show? Is there a photo that surpassed all the other photos on such a monumental level that it was worthy of being isolated as head and shoulders above the rest? I don't think so. I don't think so today. I think today it was pretty evenly matched. I don't think there was really any head and shoulders, no mistakes kind of photos. So we're going to save the photos of the week for this. I mean, we're going to save the best in show for when there are best in shows. Okay. So we do have some photos of the week. And again, I think we got Mike Graves one, Romeo one, Danso one, Torrance one, Dana, Kyle, Jay Tracy, Chris Foster, Doyle Daniels, Mike Morrison. And there's more people who won photo of the week than didn't this week, honestly. Honestly, there's more people who won photo of the week than didn't, and it looks like they've already copied them out. All right, guys, this is your assignment for next week, Thursday. We are back to our regularly scheduled program next Thursday. I want you to do this. Make an environmental image within your niche. It's super simple. I'm asking for an environmental picture, meaning I want you to create an image that incorporates a person, a place, or a thing, but I want you to incorporate it within its natural environment. So that means, there you go. That's probably the reason. I want you to incorporate this environmental image. I want you to shoot a person, place, or a thing in its natural environment. If you're a portrait shooter, that could be someone in their workspace, someone in their home. If you shoot places, it could be an architectural, it could be a landscape shot with like a building within it. If you shoot things, it should be a product integrated into a relevant setting. And this is a horizontal picture. Horizontal, this is a double page spread, meaning don't bias anything dead center. I want you on the left or on the right, because you see I'm going to put those overlays over top of all your photos. This is a horizontal double page spread. This is why this matters. Learning how to shoot environmental images demonstrates your ability to tell a story by connecting your subject to its real world context. And what that does is it makes your work more authentic and more marketable. Okay? So the goal is for you to create an environmental picture within your niche, a picture in an environment that makes sense with the photograph that you're shooting. And eye contact is going to be something that I'm asking for, because I want you to be, too many of you are having your subjects looking off at the eye contact. Please, I need eye contact. It's riveting. And you can even see the difference between when I'm talking to you this way and looking like directly in your eyes when I'm talking to you, and when I'm on this camera and I'm still speaking to this camera. But now the feeling that you have when you're watching me is you're an observer. You're seeing something's happening, but it has nothing to do with you. It has to do with what's going on here with me and that person. So because I'm looking there and I'm projecting that way, you feel like an observer. Now, when you're here and I'm projecting this way, you feel like a participator, and I'm projecting to you, which is why as photographers, like, our heart is here, and your subject, you're trying to connect their heart and their eyes with the viewer. So don't hide their heart. Like, have their heart forward and their eyes forward. And I promise you, you're going to make way, way, way more powerful pictures. Do leave me a comment. Let me know if you think that I missed a photo of the week. Let me know if you think that someone should have got it that didn't. Let me know if you think that someone shouldn't have got it that did. And also, this is a positive environment. I'm just fucking around. All about positivity in my comments. Leave comments. I'm also going to be, if you ask me a good question in my comments, I'll make a video to answer it. I hope that helps you.
This live stream was brought to you by Pixpa, the best website builder for photographers and creatives, and Indie, the best way to run your freelance business, and by you, the members and subscribers of the Carty Method. Consider becoming a member for $5 a month to show your support for our content, and we'll reward you. You get members-only content every month, and Carty has the best emojis on YouTube, and you'll get that crown badge next to your name. If you're building a photography business, make sure you join Portfolio Lab. How ready are you to be a pro? Take the Carty Method Pro Photographer's Readiness Scorecard. You'll always find helpful links in the show notes. Sharing is caring. If this content has brought you value today, share it, clip it, post it to your socials. Curating and sharing helpful content makes you an expert. Even if the content you're sharing isn't yours, be a curator and share this content with your network. Find your creative and business genius with the Carty Method.
I just shot a whole bunch of new work, and I also coached a bunch of students to shoot some new work. And today during Portfolio Lab, I will be sharing a little bit of the stuff that I've been shooting lately, specifically these headshots that I just shot this morning. I'm definitely going to share that with you and just show the anatomy of a photo shoot, which I like to do. Portfolio Lab, that's what it's all about. Myself and my team, we also like to share shit that we're working on, stuff that is moving the needle, and showing you the behind the scenes, the Lightroom libraries, the Capture One libraries, all the adjustments, the pre-adjustments, the post-production, all that stuff. We're showing it all in Portfolio Lab. Wish you were there. Go to thecartymethod.com/portfolio lab to join. If nothing else, you get 4 Zoom calls with me a month. Pretty dope.